Assalamu alaikum. Please mute your lines. Prepare your hearts and minds for prayer. Attention, prayer.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
I mean, all praise is truly due to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I thank Allah for His coming and intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. I thank Him for the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, seated in power. I thank the both of them for the modern-day Jesus in our midst, our divine guide, warner, and mercy, yet among us, the final call, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet you in the greeting words of peace and paradise in our original language of Arabic, of Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30 read today. All praises are truly due to Allah. Today, we are so grateful for you joining in with us today, and we would like to remind you to remain on the call throughout, as we will also be streaming live the minister's interview on today. All praises are truly due to Allah. Today, we will be reading Part 14. Part 14 begins with Surah 15, Ayat 2, and goes all the way through to Surah 16, Ayat 128. Once again, we will be reading Part 14. Part 14 begins with Surah 15, Ayat 2, goes all the way through to Surah 16, Ayat 128. Our sister LaShawn will begin our read. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah.
Wa alaikum salam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Part 14, Surah 15, Al-Hijra, the Rock. Section 1, the Qur'an is guarded. Ayats 2 through 15. Often will those who disbelieve wish that they were Muslims. Lead them to eat and enjoy themselves, and let false hope beguile them, for they will soon know. And never did we destroy a town, but it had a decree made known. No people can hasten on their doom, nor can they postpone it. And they say, O thou to whom the reminder is revealed, thou art indeed mad. Why bringest thou not the angels to us, if thou art of the truthful? We send not angels but with truth, and then they would not be respited. Surely we have revealed the reminder, and surely we are its guardian. And certainly we sent messengers before thee among the sects of yore, and there never came a messenger to them, but they mocked him. Thus do we make it into the hearts of the guilty. They believe not in it, and the example of the ancients has gone before. And even if we open to them a gate of heaven, and they keep on ascending into it, they would say, only our eyes have been covered over. Rather, we are an enchanted people. Part 14, Surah 15, Al-Hijra, the Rock. Section 2, Forces of Evil will be destroyed. Ayat 16 through 25. And certainly we have made strongholds in the heaven, and we have made it fair seeming to the beholders, and we guard it against every accursed devil. But he who steals a hearing, so there follows him a visible flame. And the earth, we have spread it out and made in it firm mountains, and caused to grow in it of every suitable thing. And we have made in it means of subsistence for you, and for him for whom you provide not. And there is not a thing but with us are the treasures of it. And we send it not down, but in a known measure. And we send the winds fertilizing, then send down water from the clouds. So we give it to you to drink, nor is it you who store it up. And surely it is we who give life and cause death, and we are the inheritors. And certainly we know those among you who go forward, and we certainly know those who lag behind. And surely thy Lord will gather them together. He indeed is wise, knowing.
The devil's opposition to the righteous. Ayat 26. And surely we created man of sound and clay, of black mud, fashioned into shape. And the jinn we created before of intensely hot fire. And when thy Lord said to the angels, I am going to create a mortal of sound and clay, of black mud fashioned into shape. So when I have made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down, making obeisance to him. So the angels made obeisance, all of them together. But Iblis did it not. He refused to be with those who made obeisance. He said, O Iblis, what is the reason that thou art not with those who make obeisance? He said, I am not going to make obeisance to a mortal whom thou hast created, of sound and clay, of black mud fashioned into shape. He said, then go forth, for surely thou art driven away. And surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. He said, my Lord, respite me till the time when they are raised. He said, surely thou art of the respited ones. till the period of the time made known. He said, My Lord, as thou hast judged me erring, I shall certainly make evil fair seeming to them on earth, and I shall cause them all to deviate. Except thy servants from among them, the purified ones. He said, This is a right way with me. As regards my servants, thou hast no authority over them, except such of the deviators as follow thee. And surely hell is the promised place for them all. It has 7 gates, for each gate is an appointed portion of them.
Part 14, Surah 15, Section 4, Mercy for the Righteous, Abraham, Ayats 45 through 60. Surely, those who keep their duty are in gardens and fountains. Enter them in peace secure, and we shall root out whatever of rancor is in their breasts, as brethren on raised couches, face to face. Toil afflicts them not therein, nor will they be ejected therefrom. Inform my servants that I am the forgiving, the merciful, and that my chastisement, that is the painful chastisement, and inform them of the guest of Abraham. When they entered upon him, they said, Peace. He said, We are afraid of you. They said, Be not afraid. We give thee good news of a boy possessing knowledge. He said, Do you give me good news when old age has come upon me? Of what then do you give me good news? They said, We give thee good news with truth. So be not thou of the despairing ones. He said, And who despairs of the mercy of his Lord but the erring ones? He said, What is your business? Then, O messengers, they said, We have been sent to a guilty people. Except Lot's followers, we shall deliver them all. Except his wife, we ordain that she shall surely be of those who remain behind.
Part 14, Surah 15, Ayat 61 through 79. Section 5, Lot and Shuaib. So when the messengers came to Lot's followers, he said, Surely you are an unknown people. They said, Nay, we have come to thee with that about which they disputed, and we have come to thee with the truth, and we are surely truthful. So travel with thy followers for a part of the night, and thyself follow their rear. And let not any one of you turn around, and go whither you are commanded. And we made known to him this decree, that the roots of these should be cut off in the morning. And the people of the town came rejoicing. He said, These are my guests, so disgrace me not, and keep your duty to Allah, and shame me not. They said, Did we not forbid thee from entertaining people? He said, These are my daughters, if you will do aught. By thy life, they blindly wandered on in their frenzy. So the cry overtook them at sunrise. Thus we turned it upside down, and rained upon them hard stones. Surely in this are signs for those who take a lesson. And it is on a road that still abides. Verily therein is a sign for the believers. And the dwellers of the grove are indeed iniquitous. So we inflicted retribution on them, and they are both on an open high road.
Part 14, Surah 15, The Rock, Section 6, The Dwellers of the Rock and the Warning, Ayats 80 to 99. And the dwellers of the rock indeed rejected their messengers, and we gave them our messages, but they turned away from them, and they hewed houses in the mountains in security. So the cry overtook them in the morning, and what they earned availed them not. And we created not the heavens and the earth and what is between them, but with truth. And the hour is surely coming, so turn away with kindly forgiveness. Surely thy Lord, he is the creator, the knower. And certainly we have given thee seven often repeated verses and Grand Qur'an. Strain not thine eyes at what we have given certain classes of them to enjoy, and grieve not for them, and make thyself gentle to the believers, and say, I am indeed the plain warner. Like as we sent down on them who took oaths, those who divided the Quran into parts, so by thy Lord we shall question them all as to what they did. Therefore declare openly what thou art commanded, and turn away from the polytheists. Surely we are sufficient to be against the scoffers. Those who set up another God with Allah, so they will come to know. And we know indeed that thy breast straightens at what they say. So celebrate the praise of thy Lord, and be of those who make obeisance, and serve thy Lord until there comes to thee that which is certain.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B, Section 1, Revelation testified to by nature. Ayats 1 through 9. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Allah's commandment will come to pass, so seek not to hasten it. Glory be to Him, and highly exalted be Him above what they associate with Him. He sends down angels with revelation by His command on whom He pleases of His servants, saying, Give the warning that there is no God but me, so keep your duty to me. He created the heavens and the earth with truth. Highly exalted be Him above what they associate with Him. He created man from a small life germ, and lo, he is an open contender. And the cattle, He has created them for you. You have in them warm clothing and other advantages, and of them you eat. And therein is beauty for you, when you drive them back home and when you send them out to pasture. And they carry your heavy loads to regions which you could not reach, but with distress to yourselves. Surely your Lord is compassionate, merciful. And He made horses and mules and asses, that you might ride upon them, and as an ornament. And He creates what you know not. And upon Allah it rests to show the right way. And there are some deviating ways. And if He pleased, He would guide you all aright.
Part 14, Surah 16, Allah, to be. Section 2, Nature upholds unity. Ayats 10 through 21. He it is who sends down water from the clouds for you. It gives drink, and by it grow the trees on which you feed. He causes to grow for you thereby herbage, and the olives and the date palm, and the grapes, and all the fruit. Surely there is a sign in this for a people who is left. And He has made subservient for you the night and the day, and the sun and the moon, and the stars are made subservient by His command. Surely there are signs in this for a people who understand. And what He has created for you in the earth is of very few. Surely there is a sign in this for a people who are mindful. And He it is who has made the sea subservient, that you may eat
fresh flesh from it, and bring forth from it ornaments that you wear. And thou seest the ships cleaving through it, so that you seek of his bounty, and that you may give thanks. And he has cast firm mountains in the earth, lest it quake with you, and rivers and roads, that you may go aright, and landmarks. And by the stars they find the right way. Is he then who creates like him, who creates not? Do you not then mind? And if you would count Allah's favors, you would not be able to number them. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. And Allah knows what you conceal and what you do openly. And those whom they call on besides Allah created not, while they are themselves created. Dead are they, not living, and they know not when they will be raised.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B. Section 3, Denial Due to Ignorance, Ayats 22 to 25. Your God is one God, so those who believe not in the hereafter, their hearts refuse to know, and they are proud. Undoubtedly, Allah knows what they hide and what they manifest. Surely He loves not the proud. And when it is said to them, what is it that your Lord has revealed? They say, stories of the ancients, that they may bear their burdens in full on the day of resurrection, and also of the burdens of those whom they lead astray without knowledge. Ah, evil is what they bear.
Al-Nab the B, Part 14, Section 4, the wicked will come. Those before them plotted, so Allah demolished their building from the foundations. So the roof fell down on them from above them, and the chastisement came to them from whence they perceived not. Then on the resurrection day he will bring them to disgrace and say, where are my partners, for whose sake you become hostile? Those who are given the knowledge will say, surely disgrace this day and evil are upon the disbelievers, whom the angels cause to die while they are unjust to themselves. Then will they offer submission? We did not do any evil, nay, surely Allah knows what you did. So enter the gates of hell, to abide therein. Evil indeed is the dwelling place of the proud. And it is said to those who guard against evil, what has your Lord revealed? They said, good, for those who do good in this world is good, and certainly the abode of the hereafter is better, and excellent indeed is the abode of those who keep their duty. Gardens of purity which they enter, there flow rivers. They have therein what they please. Thus does Allah reward those who keep their duty, whom the angels cause to die in purity, saying, peace be to you. Enter the garden for what you did. Await, they ought, but that the angels should come to them, or that thy Lord's command should come to pass. Thus did those before them. And Allah wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. So the evil of what they did afflicted them, and that which they marred encompassed them.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B. Section 5, Prophets are raised to explain, Ayats 35 through 40. And the idolaters say, if Allah pleased, we would not have served aught but Him, neither we nor our fathers, nor would we have prohibited aught without order from Him. Thus did those before them. But have the messengers any duty except a plain delivery of the message? And certainly we raised in every nation a messenger, saying, serve Allah and shun the devil. Then of them was he whom Allah guided, and of them was he whose remaining in error was justly due. So travel in the land, then see what was the end of the rejectors. If thou desirest their guidance, yet Allah will not guide him who leads astray, nor have they any helpers. And they swear by Allah their most energetic oaths. Allah will not raise up him who dies. Yea, it is a promise binding on him, quite true, but most people know not, so that he might make manifest to them that about which they differ, and that those who disbelieve might know that they were liars. Our word for a thing, when we intend it, it is that we say to it, be, and it is.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B, Section 6, Doom of the Opponent is Coming, Ayats 41 through 50. And those who flee for Allah's sake after they are oppressed, we shall certainly give them a good abode in the world, and the reward of the hereafter is much greater. Did they but know. Those who are steadfast and on their Lord they rely. And we set not before thee any but men to whom we sent revelation. So ask the followers of the reminder, if you know not, with clear arguments and scriptures. And we have revealed to thee the reminder, that thou mayest make clear to men that which has been revealed to them, and that happily they may reflect. Are they then who plan evil plans secure that Allah will not abase them in the earth, or that chastisement will not overtake them from whence they perceive not, or that he will not seize them in their goings to and fro, then they will not be able to escape, or that he will not seize them with a gradual diminution? Your Lord is surely compassionate, merciful. See they not everything that Allah has created? Its very shadows return from right to left, making obeisance to Allah, while they are in utter abasement. And to Allah makes obeisance every living creature that is in the heavens and that is in the earth, and the angels too, and they are not proud. They fear their Lord above them and do what they are commanded. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Part 14, Surah 16, Section 7, Human Nature Revolts Against Polytheism, Ayats 51 to 60. And Allah has said, take not two gods, he is only one God, so me alone should you fear. And whatever is in the heavens and the earth is his, and to him is obedience due always. Will you then fear other than Allah? And whatever good you have, it is from Allah. Then when evil afflicts you, to him do you cry for aid. Then when he removes the evil from you, lo, some of you associate others with their Lord, so as to deny what we have given them. Then enjoy yourselves, for soon will you know. And they set apart for what they know not a portion of what we have given them. By Allah, you shall certainly be questioned about that which you forged. And they ascribe daughters to Allah. Glory be to him, and for themselves is what they desire. And when the birth of a daughter is announced to one of them, his face becomes black, and he is full of wrath. He hides himself from the people because of the evil of what is announced to him. Shall he keep it with disgrace or bury it alive in the dust? Now surely evil is what they judge. For those who believe not in the hereafter are evil attributes, and Allah's are the sublime attributes, and He is the mighty, the wise.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B, Section 8, Iniquity of Deniers, Ayat 61 to 65. And if Allah were to destroy men for their iniquity, He would not leave therein a single creature, as He respites them till an appointed time. So when their doom comes, they are not able to delay it an hour, nor can they advance it. And they ascribe to Allah what they themselves hate, and their tongues relate the lie for Allah. And they ascribe to Allah what they themselves hate, and their tongues relate the lie, for that them is good. Assuredly for them is the fire, and they will therein will be abandoned. By Allah, we certainly sent messengers to nations before thee, but the devil made their deeds first seeming to them. So he is their patron today, and for them is a painful chastisement. And we have not revealed to thee the book except that thou mayest make clear to them that wherein they differ, and as a guidance and a mercy for people who believe. And Allah sends down water from above, and therewith gives life to the earth after its death. Surely there is a sign in this for people who listen.
Part 14, Surah 16 to B, Section 9, Parable Showing the Truth of Revelation, Ayat 66 through 70. And surely there is a lesson for you in the cattle. We give you to drink of what is in their bellies, from betwixt the feces and the blood pure milk, agreeable to the drinkers. And of the fruits of the palms and the grapes you obtain from them intoxicants and goodly provision. There is surely a sign in this for a people who ponder. And thy Lord revealed to the beast, make hives in the mountains and in the trees and in what they build. Then eat of all the fruits and walk in the ways of the Lord submissively. There comes forth from their bellies a beverage of many hues, in which there is healing for men. Therein is surely a sign for a people who reflect. And Allah creates you, then He causes you to die, and of you is He who is brought back to the worst part of life, so that He knows nothing after having knowledge. Surely Allah is knowing, powerful.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B, Section 10, the recipient of revelation, Ayats 71 to 76. And Allah has made some of you excel others in the means of subsistence. So those who are made to excel give not away their sustenance to those whom their right hand possesses, so that they may be equal therein. Will they then deny the favor of Allah? And Allah has made wives for you from among yourselves, and has given you sons and daughters from your wives, and has provided you with good things. Will they then believe in falsehood and deny the favor of Allah? And they serve besides Allah that which controls for them no sustenance at all from the heavens and the earth, nor have they any power. So coin not similitudes for Allah. Surely Allah knows, and you know not. Allah sets forth a parable. There is a slave, the property of another, controlling naught, and there is one to whom we have granted from ourselves goodly provisions. So he spends from it secretly and openly. Are the two alike? Praise be to Allah. Nay, most of them know not. And Allah sets forth the parable of two men, one of them dumb, controlling naught, and he is a burden to his master. Wherever he sends him, he brings no good. Is he equal with him who enjoins justice? and he is on the right path.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B, Section 11, Punishment Withheld, Ayats 77 through 83. And Allah's is the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and the matter of the hour is but as a twinkling of the eye, or it is nigher still. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things. And Allah brought you forth from the wombs of your mothers. You knew nothing, and He gave you hearing and sight and hearts, that you might give thanks. See they not the birds constrained in the middle of the sky? None withholds them but Allah. Surely in this are signs for a people who believe. And Allah has given you an abode in your houses, and He has given you houses of the skins of cattle, which you find light to carry on the day of your march and on the day of your halting, and of their wool and their fur and their hair, household stuff, and a provision for a time. And Allah has made for you of what He has created shelters, and He has given you in the mountains places of retreat, and He has given you garments to save you from the heat, and coats of mail to save you in your fighting. Thus does He complete His favor to you, that you may submit. Then, if they turn away, thy duty is only clear deliverance of the message. They recognize the favor of Allah, yet they deny it, and most of them are ungrateful.
Part 14, Surah the B, Chapter 16 the B, Section 12, Prophets Testify, Ayats 84 to 89. And on the day when we raise up a witness out of every nation, then permission to offer excuse will not be given to the disbelievers, nor will they be allowed to make amends. And when the wrongdoers see the chastisement, it will not be lightened for them, nor will they be respited. And when those who ascribe partners to Allah see their associate gods, they will say, Our Lord, these are our associate gods on whom we called besides thee. But they will throw back at them the word, Surely you are liars. And they will tender submission to Allah on that day, and what they use to forge will fail them. Those who disbelieve and hinder men from Allah's way, we will add chastisement to their chastisement because they made mischief. And on the day when we raise up in every people a witness against them from amongst themselves, and bring thee as a witness against these, and we have revealed the book to thee explaining all things, and a guidance and mercy and good news for those who submit.
Part 14, Al-Nab the B, Surah 16, Ayat 90 through 100, Section 13, Revelation enjoins good. Ayat 19, Surely Allah enjoins justice and the doing of good to others, and the giving to the kindred, and He forbids indecency and evil and rebellion. He admonishes you that you may be mindful, and fulfill the covenant of Allah, when you have made a covenant and break not the oaths after making them fast. And you have indeed made Allah your surety, and surely Allah knows what you do. And be not like her, who unravels her yarn, disintegrating it into pieces after she has spun it strongly. You make your oaths to be means of deceit between you, because one nation is more numerous than another nation. Allah only tries you by this, and He will certainly make clear to you on the day of resurrection that wherein you differ. And if Allah please, He will make you a single nation, but He leaves in error whom He pleases and guides whom He pleases. And certainly you will be questioned as to what you did. And make not your oaths a means of deceit between you, lest a foot should slip after its stability. And you should taste evil because you hinder me from Allah's way, and grievous chastisement be your lot. And take not a small price for Allah's kindness. Surely what is with Allah is better for you, did you but not know. What is it with your passes away, and what is it with Allah is enduring? And we should certainly give to those who are patient their reward for the best of what they did. Whoever does good, whether male or female, and is a believer, we should certainly make him live a good life, and we shall certainly give them their reward for the best of what they did. So when thou recitest the Qur'an, seek refuge in Allah from the accursed devil. Surely he has no authority over those who believe and rely on their Lord. His authority is only over those who befriend him and those who associate others with him.
Part 14, Surah 16, Al-Nawbadi, Section 14. The Quran is not a forgery. Ayats 101 through 110. And when we change a message for a message, and Allah knows best what He reveals, they say, Thou art only a forger. Nay, most of them know not. Say, the Holy Spirit has revealed it from thy Lord with truth, that it might establish those who believe, and as a guidance and good news for those who submit. And indeed we know that they say, only a mortal teaches him. The tongue of him whom they hint at is foreign, and this is clear Arabic language. Thus, who believe not, subhanAllah, those who believe not in Allah's messages, Allah guides them not, and for them is a painful chastisement. Only they forge lies who believe not in Allah's messages, and they are the liars. Whoso disbelieves in Allah after his belief, not he whom is compelled while his heart is content with faith, but he who opens his breast for disbelief. On them is the wrath of Allah, and for them is a grievous chastisement. That is because they love this world's life more than the hereafter, and because Allah guides not the disbelieving people. These are they whose hearts and ears and eyes Allah has sealed, and these are the heedless ones. No doubt that in the hereafter they are the losers. Then surely thy Lord, to those who flee after they are persecuted, then struggle hard, and are patient, surely thy Lord after that is protecting, merciful.
Part 14, Surah 16, the B. Section 15, Fate of the Opponents. Ayats 111 through 119. On the day when every soul will come pleading for itself, and every soul will be paid in full what it has done, and they will not be dealt with unjustly. And Allah sets forth a parable, a town safe and secure, to which its means of subsistence came in abundance from every quarter. But it disbelieved in Allah's favor, so Allah made it taste a pall of hunger and fear because of what they wrought. And certainly there came to them a messenger from among them, but they rejected him. So the chastisement overtook them while they were wrongdoers. So eat of what Allah has given you, lawful and good things, and give thanks for Allah's favor, if it is you serve. He has forbidden you only what dies of itself in blood and the flesh of swine, and that over which any other name than that of Allah has been invoked. But whoever is driven to it, not desiring or exceeding the limit, then surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. And utter not for what your tongues describe the lie. This is lawful and this is unlawful, so that you forge a lie against Allah. Surely those who forge a lie against Allah will not prosper. A little enjoyment, and for them is a painful chastisement. And for those who are Jews, we prohibited what we have related to thee already. And we did them no wrong, but they wronged themselves. And surely thy Lord, for those who do evil in ignorance, then turn after that and make amends, surely thy Lord after that is forgiven, merciful.
Part 14, Surah 16, Allah to be. Section 16, The Way to Greatness. Ayat 120 through 128. Surely Allah was a model of virtue, obedient to Allah, upright, and he was not of the polytheists. Grateful for his favors, he chose him and guided him on the right path. And we gave him good in this world, and in the hereafter he is surely among the righteous. Then we revealed to thee, follow the faith of Abraham, the upright one, and he was not of the polytheists. The Sabbath was ordained only against those who differed about it, and surely thy Lord will judge between them on the day of resurrection. Concerning that wherein they differ. Call to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and goodly exhortation, and argue with them in the best manner. Surely thy Lord knows best him who strays from his path, and he knows best those who go aright. And if you take your turn, then punish with the like of that with which you were afflicted. But if you show patience, it is certainly best for the patient. And be patient, and thy patience is not but by the help of Allah. And grieve not for them, nor be in distress for what they plan. For Allah is with those who keep their duty, and those who do good to others. Surely Allah's word speaks the truth. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Surely Allah's word is true. All praise is truly due to Allah. We will close out in prayer, after which we will have brief announcements. Attention. Prayer. Our Lord, punish us not if we forget or make a mistake. Our Lord, do not lay on us a burden as thou didst lay on those before us. Our Lord, impose not on us afflictions which we have not the strength to bear. And pardon us and grant us protection and have mercy on us. Thou art our patron. So grant us victory over the disbelieving people. O Allah, you are the most forgiving, and you love forgiveness. So forgive us. Surah 113, Al-Falaq, the Dawn. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the Dawn, from the evil of that which He has created, and from the evil of those who cast evil suggestions in firm resolutions, and from the evil of the envier when he envies. Surah 114, Al-Nas, the Men. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of men, the King of men, the the God of men, from the evil of the whispering of the slinking devil who whispers into the hearts of men from among the jinn and the men. Allah, there is no God but He, the ever-living, the self-subsisting, by whom all subsist. Slumber overtakes Him not, nor sleep. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. Who is He that can intercede with Him but by His permission? He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and they encompass nothing of His knowledge except what He pleases. His knowledge extends over the heavens and the earth, and the preservation of them both tires Him not. And He is the Most High, the Great. O Allah, we beseech Your help and ask Your mercy, for we believe in You and trust in You for all that we need. We are helpers in Your cause with Your apostles. Please grant us success. Oh, Allah, continue to bless the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30 and each and every participant. I mean, all praise is truly due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. For those who desire to remain on, we will continue with the music mix lecture that we began this morning with, titled The Joy of Freedom, after which we will immediately stream the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once the interview begins. So you can remain on the line because we will in fact be streaming the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. May Allah continue to bless and keep each and every one of us safe and the families that we represent by being present. You may greet one another, and then after which we will play the music mix lecture followed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan live. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Beautiful job. I pray all is well.
For Allah, the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam had an updated list here in terms of the order, and so I'm going to go to each person, and what I'll do is introduce that person, read the bio, introduce them, and then ask the question. Because we have 13 people and the time really does go quick, asking that the answers are succinct and to the point. We're also looking forward to this council coming back to the mic and being a regular part of our listening list. Here we go. Assalamu alaikum to the group, first of all, and welcome, and it is an honor to be with you all this morning. Brother Sultan Rahman Muhammad. And let me say this to you, family. If I mispronounce your name, it is not on purpose. Please correct it, and we will go forward. Brother Sultan Rahman. Serves as the Arabic and Islamic Civilizations instructor at Muhammad University of Islam in Chicago. 2008, he was appointed to his post as student national imam of the Nation of Islam by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2012 as resident imam of Mosque Mariam National Center. He publishes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Table Talks, was installed Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a member of the Nation of Islam's Executive Shura Council 2016. Your question, how could you please share some of your duties and responsibilities as student national imam of the Nation of Islam? Right ahead, Brother Sultan.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us. Again, this is Brother Sultan Rahman Muhammad. As a student imam or servant to the Islamic Ummah or community, I assist and guide the Nation of Islam in the principles and meanings of the Islamic faith and action according to the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Lead the community in prayers and instruct the community in Arabic, the original language of the Holy Qur'an and our people. Additionally, with a team of researchers and scholars, I also work to preserve and publish the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's table talks recorded originally by my father, a close aide and grandson of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As a member of the Executive Shura Council, I apply my knowledge of the Holy Qur'an and way of Muhammad the Prophet, guided by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in a deliberative capacity, my fellow 12 members of the Executive Shura Council. The Executive Shura Council is comprised of a group of men and women who believe in Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the guidance, leadership, and direction of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We were selected by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to govern the affairs of the Nation of Islam based on the foundation for our work found in the Holy Qur'an, Bible, and in the history of Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, and Moses. God has given us a pattern for governance that we must decide our most important affairs by counsel with each other. The members of this council function as a community of persons who live with one common cause at our roots, which is to see the resurrection of our people formed into a nation under the rule and laws of God. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Sister Aisha Muhammad is honored to have been appointed as a member of the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam, registered for going on 43 years in the NOI. Sister Aisha oversees the nation's auditors who are responsible for assisting our people who have been traumatized, abused, and have suffered emotional and or physical pain. Aisha previously served as the Student National MGT and GCC captain, working with the women and girls of the NOI for over 13 years, and brings with her a background in mental health and counseling for more than 35 years. The department that she supervises comprises of men and women trained in assisting others with locating, confronting, and removing the pain of their past so that it will no longer affect our future. This is a process that helps bring up and out of us those things, act as demons that we've buried consciously and unconsciously. Those things will no longer pull us down, hold us negatively, affect us going into the future. Greetings, Sister Aisha. As a member of the Executive Council, greetings. As a member of the Executive Council, please further explain your role.
Thank you, dear brother. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has assembled us, not as individuals, but as constituent parts of a whole. We have this beautiful example of unconditional love and service to and for our people wherever they may be found, regardless of our condition. As a mosque is a place to come for repair, there are various ministries that we have that address the needs and concerns of all of our people. But this particular area focuses on addressing what is referred to as mental health. We've suffered abuses of every kind, and some of us may not even be conscious of what the mind has so skillfully buried. And those incidents have a great impact on how we think, how we treat others, how we act, and how we react when something comes up that resembles or reminds us of someone or something. Well, sometimes we're not even conscious until a sound or a smell or a word brings up a feeling of discomfort, anxiety, or pain that we yet don't have a handle on. But as an injured people for whom trauma is a constant companion, remediation For our condition is at the root of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But unfortunately, dear brother and audience, many of us have dark secrets that have scarred us very deeply. Much of what we carry is generational trauma that nobody dares to talk about. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan pointed us to something in 2010 that addresses all of that to help our people of overseas. It's a free service to help us face the difficulties associated with the past pain that may haunt us today and cause us shame and embarrassment and may even drive some of us to depression, to self-medicate or overcompensate in some way in our behavior, or even disfigure our bodies or eat excessively just to try to push down on number pain. As a member of the Executive Council, I have a responsibility to communicate to the Council without breaking confidences anything that's brought to my attention from these cadre of auditors as a common concern that may need to be addressed and decided upon by the Shura Council. This is a big subject that I hope that I was able to adequately summarize in these few minutes. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you. Brother Ahmed Muhammad, member of the Nation of Islam with a bachelor's degree in communication. In 2004, became the Student Minister of Information and member of the Executive Council, with the primary function being the management of talented teams in the area of information technology, webcasting, and the general online presence of the Nation of Islam through its various official websites, social media, and online platforms. He is also one of the sons of the Most Honorable Elijah and Mother Tainata Muhammad. What say you this morning as the Minister of Communications?
Thank you, Brother Eddie Green. Brother Eddie Reed, I'm sorry. Apologies. Brother Eddie Reed. The Ministry of Information is one of 9 ministries established by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Among those are the Ministry of Agriculture, Education, Health, Trade and Commerce, Defense, Justice, Arts and Culture, and Science and Technology. And you can find more about this on our website at NOI.org. You can find more information about ministries and much, much more information about the Nation of Islam. When it comes to the Ministry of Information, as the mission statement, it is the central agency which provides services that include the development of all sources for informing the public of the policies, plans, and strategies necessary for the free flow and accessibility of information essential to an informed and empowered citizenry. This includes collection, research, and dissemination of current events, history, analysis, the publication of books, pamphlets, magazines, and use of the internet and social media. It is also responsible for the development of information systems and networks to secure internal and external communications, media program development and management, and establishment of an Office of Media Affairs and Press Secretary. Thank you again, Brother Eddie Reed.
All of your names, Sister Amina, so that I don't get it incorrect. Sister has been in the Nation of Islam since the early 90s, but she became familiar with the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when she was about 12 years old. She says that she used to listen to the radio broadcast from the final call when she was a preacher. She started working with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan almost immediately after joining the nation. She worked in different capacities, and today she says, I am Minister Farrakhan's Executive Administrative Assistant, but have many duties and functions, one of which is and a member of the Nation of Islam's executive. What is it, sister? And pronounce your name completely for us, the listening audience. What is it like to work for such a great man like Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
Yes, sir. Thank you. My name is Sister Amina Baina Muhammad, and it is an absolute blessing, although it can be stressful. But in truth, it is wonderful to know that you have such an opportunity to help a man of such great significance, whose whole being is for the liberation and upliftment of our people. It seems today that so many of our people do not fully recognize that we are still in a struggle for our complete and total freedom. The resurrection of our people is the reason why Allah God, who came to us in the person of Master Muhammad, whom we in the nation serve and believe in, came to North America. And working with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we have the chance to learn from his exquisite example. We are truly blessed to be able to bear witness to the perfect practice of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through him, and it is one of the best teachings anyone could receive.
Thank you, my dear sister. I'll take a break, and when we come back from the break, we will be talking to Brother Wesley Muhammad, the council member.
More of the morning show coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Dear John, it would come to this. You've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm going to keep ticking. My friend, I can quit whenever I want. We get back to we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while. Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure leads to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WVON, traffic and weather, now.
Chicago, good Monday morning right now on Stevenson. Tri-State 2 to Sabo Lakeshore Drive, a 36-minute ride. Inbound between First Avenue and Kesey, stopping up. The Dan Ryan 90 minutes to downtown, a 25-minute trip, and I-57, I-80 to the Ryan, looking at a 21-minute trip if you're on the Bishop Ford, 18 minutes, 89 to the Ryan, and a 14-minute ride on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, Hollywood to Monroe. Your weather for today, sunny skies, a high of 76, breezy conditions. Tonight, a low of 49, and tomorrow, a high of only 55. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
You're listening to the morning show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. And we're moving very quickly. Let me make sure the audience gets what's happening here today. This is the very first time that the Executive Council is being introduced outside of the Nation of Islam. A very significant moment. Let's go back very quickly now to next member of the Executive Council, Brother Wesley Muhammad. Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad has been a registered member of the Nation of Islam for exactly 30 years this month. Student minister and his master have been appointed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2016, sit on the Executive Council. He has the privilege of serving on the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's research team. Brother Wesley studied religious studies at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and achieved a doctorate degree in Islamic Studies at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. He's published in numerous peer-reviewed journals and anthologies, and is the author of several books, including Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity, which documents the social, religious, and scientific efforts to woman the black male in America. My question for you, what role does a scholar and a historian of religion play in a religious body such as the Nation of Islam? Greetings, Dr. Brother Muhammad.
Greatness to you, dear brother Eddie. Thank you for having me and us and our leaders, Honorable Brother Farrakhan, on this platform. The Islam taught to us about Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Eddie. Not a religious doctrine, as most people understand that term, where faith and facts are often conflicting realities or are in opposition. Don't disturb my faith with your facts. It's the general sentiment. The Islam of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is actually a verifiable body of knowledge, a piece in which there is no conflict between what we believe and what the facts on the ground allow us to verify as true. In fact about it, dear brother, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad can be demonstrated as true in no length of time. I have been awarded the profound privilege by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan to produce a scholarship on behalf of my nation that demonstrates this, that when it comes to the Islam of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there is no unbridgeable gap between the faith and the facts, and equal to Allah the Great.
Thank you, brother. Brother Leonard Muhammad. Brother Leonard Muhammad joined the Nation of Islam over 40 years ago and immediately became a member of the Nation of Islam staff under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's honored to be chosen by Minister Louis Farrakhan, Executive Council. Brother Muhammad was given the task and honor of representing the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan in the efforts to purchase of the nation that were initially acquired by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Which included acquiring the National House in Chicago, Muhammad's Temple No. 2, now known as Mosque Mary M. He placed in Phoenix, Arizona, 100 acres of Muhammad's farm in Georgia. He's also negotiating the acquisition of Michigan Farm in Buffalo, Michigan. Leonard Muhammad, Donna Muhammad, Sister Donna Farrakhan created and manufactured clean and fresh personal care products. Inspiration of the minister. Collaborated with the Wellington Group in the creation of a marketing initiative, quote, at last, quote. Mr. Muhammad served as Chief of Staff of the Nation of Islam. He was also part of the delegation of the 3 world tours meeting with government leaders. Brother Muhammad was present at the first meeting of the African Union Peace Mission, Sudan and Africa. He also co-chaired the reunion from Minister Louis Farrakhan and Betty Shabazz at the Apollo Theater and the Million Man March. Brother Leonard Muhammad holds a Bachelor of Degree and is known as a community activist in the field of politics and entertainment, and is an advisor to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Question, brother, is how does Minister Farrakhan differ from other black leaders that you
Yes, thank you, Eddie, and thank you, WVON, Melody, Van Cooper, for once again allowing the Nation of Islam to come on this platform to speak to our people. The minister hit, to me, the number one difference is his love and his humility. And I believe, in my opinion, that his love and his humility is a great part of what produced the success of the Million Man March. As you remember, Eddie, as being a part of it yourself, of the march, that the minister allowed
so many people to feel a sense of ownership in that march. Nobody felt that it was the personal endeavor of Louis Farrakhan. He made sure that everybody felt that they found their way to feel a sense of ownership. He allowed so many people on that day, as you know, to speak, share the microphone. At the end of the march effort, on the stage in Washington, as I remember, it was a who's who in Black America who came to that march. Men, women, and youth. So I credit him with that. And as a leader, as an example for us. If you want to be loved, you have to exhibit love to our people. And that's the reason, in my judgment, that the minister is such a magnet. And he always is well received without regard for religion. He's very well received all over the world. So I thank Minister Farrakhan for what he means to me and what he means to Black people here in America and people of goodwill throughout the world. Thank you for the question.
Well, thank you, Brother Leonard. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and speak to
Studio.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here's what's happening in your news. Mayor Lightfoot is taking actions to prevent violence in downtown Chicago. The mayor announced she's banning unaccompanied minors from Millennium Park after 6 p.m. from Thursday through Sunday. This new policy will be strictly enforced. The mayor announced that measure after a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed near the Bean on Saturday night. Large crowds in the downtown area led to more than 24 arrests over the weekend. In other news, a longtime Chicago police officer is entering the city's mayor race again. Officer Frederick Collins announced yesterday his second run for mayor. He joins a growing list of candidates looking to unseat Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Alderman Raymond Lopez, businessman Willie Wilson, and state representative Cam Buckner are also running. Collins previously ran for mayor in 2015, but withdrew from the ballot after facing a challenge to his nominating petitions. And Governor Pritzker has signed legislation to crack down on retail theft. Illinois is working on cracking down on a nationwide rise in coordinated retail theft. Those who knowingly engage with others in a theft valued at $300 or more will be guilty of a Class 3 felony. And those who engage in retail theft from one or more establishments will be guilty of a Class 2 felony. I'm Candace McCollum, and that's what's happening in your news now on 1690 WVON.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday morning, another day, another blessing, Chicago. Right now for your update, we begin on the Bishop Ford, 8094 to the Ryan, a 21-minute trip. Right now, we're on I-57, I-80 to the Ryan. A 20-minute ride. We do have stop-and-go traffic inbound between 115th and the Dan Ryan. Right now on the Dan Ryan, 95th to downtown, 20 per minute stop-and-go inbound between 95th and 69th. And if you're on the Stevenson, Tri-State 2 to Sabo Lakeshore Drive, 37 minutes. Your weather for today, a beautiful day, Chicago. Breezy conditions, a high of 76 degrees and partly sunny. Tonight, a low of 49. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show on 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. This is your brother Eddie Reed. This historical day of introducing the Executive Council to not only the listening audience of WVON, but all over the world. Go back very quickly now. Brother Abdul Arif Muhammad. Brother Abdul Muhammad was blessed to meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a college student in 1979. Became one of his followers and student helpers in the ministry. Graduated from Howard University School of Law in the early 80s. Served as a general counsel for the Nation of Islam for 32 years. Has been honored to be appointed Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to serve as a member of the Executive Nation of Islam. Can you share with our listening audience some of your observations as student of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and a member of the Executive Council? You.
Thank you, Brother Eddie Reed. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Words are inadequate to express my gratitude to Almighty God for the blessing of meeting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is a man who puts his complete trust in Allah God and his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we as a people have been the beneficiaries of his demonstrated love for us. In the Bible, Jesus is asked, what is the greatest commandment? He answered, to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And said the second is like unto the first, to love your neighbor as yourself. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has lived his life based on these principles to serve God, and the love for his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, moved him and inspired him to continue his mission and rebuild the Nation of Islam and to reestablish the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He has put his life on the line to serve his people and all oppressed humanity. As a result, the consciousness of Black America has been elevated. He has taught and inspired us who sit on the council to this same commitment to love God and to serve the people of God and oppressed humanity. And my responsibilities as general counsel are to provide legal guidance, advice, and defense to protect our nation. We are forever grateful to God for giving to us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Thank you.
Sister Ava Muhammad. Sister Ava Muhammad is the official national spokesperson of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Prior to her current position, the minister appointed her to the first Muslim woman in modern history to occupy a position of authority over a mosque, serving as the nation's southern regional minister. Traveled throughout the United States and around the globe, delivering and defending the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, named by Essence Magazine as one of the most, quote, 30 most powerful black men in America, close quote. Sister Ava is also an attorney. She served as lead counsel for Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam in major litigation, including Farrakhan v. Reagan and Farrakhan v. The New York Post. Hosted a popular weekly program, Elevated Places, WVON Radio, and currently on Blog Talk Radio. Ava has assisted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in developing several of his significant works, including his monumental course, Self-Improvement, the Basic for Community Development, and the Nation of Islam's Provincial Constitution. In 2018 and 2019, he led a series of town hall meetings across America entitled, quote, Black Man and Woman Must Consider Separation, and continues to spearhead Project Separation. Sister, you are a black Muslim woman, a white mother and grandmother. What is the significance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's appointment of a woman minister over America?
Thank you, Brother Eddie, and thank you for your dedicated service to our community. The prophetic Jesus of the Bible was a revolutionary in the liberation of the woman. In the major religions of the world, Christianity, Judaism, as well as Islam, sexism has been pervasive for centuries. Even now, though women-led countries run major businesses, are in every profession you can think of, the presence of women in pulpits and on rostrums remains rare. Today, in the fullness of time, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the spiritual global leader, fulfilling the prophecy of a messianic figure at the forefront of restoring honor, respect, and the right perception of the female, who is the second self of the Creator. Here are Minister Farrakhan's precise words, quote, Minister Ava's appointment to head the mosque in teaching and administration is a sign now of a new rulership. It is time now for the female to come out into God's new world, as well as master the home, and to bring forth a brand new civilization, a sign of the irreversible will of Allah God, that nothing Satan can do will alter the establishment of God's will. The woman can come out now because Satan's power over her is waning. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Abdul Rauf Muhammad. Brother Abdul served as student chief of protocol for 13 years since May of 2009. Every nation has to interact with other nations. All sovereign nations, state, and diplomatic relations with other nations. Brother Abdul Rauf Brother Abdul Rauf coordinates the activities of over 70 student protocol directors in cities throughout America. Functions are to go out to meet and establish relationships with important and influential dignitaries in their cities on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Minister of their cities. Brother Abdul Rauf has facilitated meetings with pastors, dignitaries in Chicago and other cities to meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and possible ways to work together for the improved conditions of our people. My dear brother, what is the greatest satisfaction you get in serving?
It only has 3 minutes.
Go right ahead. Brother Abdul?
Thank you, Brother Eddie Reed. Thank you so much for having the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his Executive Council on this show. I'm honored to have been appointed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the Student Chief of Protocol and as a member of the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam. My greatest satisfaction in my post is witnessing the transformation
of a young man or woman who accepts the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. As a host who receives and seeks a person who comes to the mosque for the first time, I am blessed to observe the positive change of an individual that returns weekly to hear more of the life-giving teaching. A teaching that gives the person the desire and the power to change their life for the better. Isn't it a joy to witness over and over the powerful teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as it transforms a person from a mentally and spiritually dead state to a new constructive life, free of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, fornication, and wrongdoing. This process we refer to as the resurrection of the dead. Thank you, Brother Eddie, for your question.
Thank you. Sister Naima Muhammad. Abiding principle of the Nation of Islam is that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. As such, women have a vital role in its success. Naima Muhammad serves as the Student National MDT and GCC Captain of the Nation of Islam. Appointed to her post on March 30th, 2010 by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Under his guidance and leadership, Sister Naima Muhammad is vested with the power and authority to ensure the proper growth, development, teaching, and training of women and girls. He accomplishes this awesome responsibility by assisting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in directing the class for women and girls, steps to educate, empower, and elevate women and girls toward attaining the heights of their God-given potential. The work is not just the membership of the Nation of Islam, but encompasses all women and girls among our people and humanity worldwide. Sister Naima Muhammad works tirelessly to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as he works to establish a world of freedom, justice, and equality. Naima, in your role as the Student National MGT Nation of Islam, give us your thoughts.
Thank you, Brother Eddie. So in the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we are taught that the hallmark of civilization is, in fact, the woman. This means that the woman is the very standard by which civilization is measured. So if you want to determine the success or failure of a civilization, just take a look at the condition of the female of that society. So what is civilization? Civilization means one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage, the pursuit of happiness. So in the nation, it is our aim to establish the righteous kingdom of God here on earth, distinguished by the highest manifestation of civilized society. And since civilization is marked by the woman, then we as women are to represent the pinnacle of civilized behavior. We must represent the supreme manifestation of civilization. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and I quote, he said that the women in Islam are the most important work for the messenger in the nation. Anything that corrupts the woman, anything that makes an improper use of woman is destructive to the national aim of God and his Christ, because their aim is that we must become a new people. And we can never become a new people, new creatures, unless we have a new woman. And we cannot have a new woman without a new mind in that woman. And that mind that is being offered to the woman today is the mind of God himself, end quote. So I have the distinct honor and privilege of serving as the Student National MVP, Captain of the Nation of Islam under the direction and guidance and leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the head of the class, to help teach and train women in a class that would ensure our proper growth and the development in establishing the kingdom of God. The basis of this class, which is called Muslim Girls Training in General Civilization class, are 7 training units that have been divinely crafted to bring us to the height of civilization. These training units, which include how to keep house, how to rear our children, how to take care of our husbands, how to sew, how to cook, how to act at home, and how to act abroad, are all manifestations of degrees of civilization. These classes serve as the foundation, the base from which we as women can spring forth as high as our God-given talents may take us. So my role is to help us as women to begin to understand our true divine nature and function based on the teachings and training of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So to put it briefly, this is how I currently serve as a helper to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and service to our people. Thank you so much for listening to these few words.
Thank you, my sister. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back here from Brother Alim Muhammad, and we'll close out this hour. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday. And that old stomach chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you can save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we are making home affordable. Government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the hits, KBB.com it.
WVON, traffic and weather, now.
Good Monday morning. The time now is 7:51, and our outfit begins on the Eisenhower, Wolf, to the post office. A 51-minute trip. We are heavy inbound between Manhattan and Vernon Beach. The Stevenson, Tri-State to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. A 37-minute ride in the Dan Ryan 96 to downtown, clocking in at 27 minutes. The weather for today, a high of 76 degrees and partly sunny. Breezy conditions tonight, a low of 49. And tomorrow, a cool down, a high of 65. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
Now back to the morning show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. We're going now to Brother Saad Alim Muhammad. Brother Saad Alim Muhammad, formerly known as Irby Tower Muhammad, is a native of Chicago. He attended Lindblom High School and went on to Morehouse College, where he joined the Nation of Islam in 1994 at the age of 19. Became the Nation of Islam Student Association spokesman during his senior year. Then returned to Chicago, where he attended the DePaul University College of Law and graduated in 1998. He passed the bar exam and immediately began practicing law under the tutelage of his late uncle, attorney Robert C. Powell, the late great attorney Louis Myers, Jr., who served as Minister Farrakhan's personal attorney. Brother Saad took over his uncle's law firm, Powell and Dixon, in 2002, and began expanding the firm under square office to approximately 3,003 years, and it eventually became the second largest black-owned law firm in Chicago. In August of 2008, he opened their second office in Rockford, Illinois, and in December 2008, Brother Saad invited the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to visit his downtown office. Within 72 hours of that visit, Minister Farrakhan asked him to serve as the Student National Secretary of the Nation of Islam, which he accepted. He has served in his capacity for 14 years. In this capacity, he's responsible for overseeing, managing, and conserving the financial and real estate assets of the Nation of Islam in the more than 130 cities. Dear brother, how did being a lawyer prepare you to serve as the National Secretary of the Nation of Islam? Go right ahead, my brother.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you to Melody and the VON family, and even to Cliff Kelly, who is not on the show anymore, but on the radio station. But we thank him for all that he has done. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Brother Eddie, one thing I'm learning more and more is how far in advance Allah arranges affairs. When I was actually managing the firm of Congregation Salam, we call it the oldest black-owned law firm in America, but I wanted to make it the largest in the nation. And so we had opened our second office in Rockford, and I said to myself, I want to sit in my office in Chicago and see everything that's going on in all the law firms in Illinois. And we planned to have 13 offices by 2025. And I said, you know what? The minister needs something like this. He needs to be able to sit wherever he is and see what's going on in our nation. And I said, this should be called the Nations Program. And so the Nations Program grew out of the Power and Dixon Law Firm Office Manager Program. And so as Student National Secretary, I signed almost all the contracts for the nation for all of our events and affairs. And so being an attorney and being able to read the fine print is very helpful in doing that. So I'm very honored to serve. I thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Every day he allows me to serve. And I want to thank all the student regional secretaries who helped me in my responsibilities. Thank you so much, Brother Eddie, and thank you to WVON family.
Thank you, my brother. Now, the next member of the Executive Committee is Brother Mustafa Farrakhan. Brother Mustafa will not be speaking today, but here's his information. The son of First Lady Mother Khadija Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1961, was the sixth of 9 children who was nurtured by his parents of Almighty God, who appeared as the Farad Muhammad, great Mahdi, to love the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to love the Nation of Islam. In February 2000, Mustafa Farrakhan was appointed Student Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam. He served faithfully in this capacity for over 22 years. His father, in every major endeavor the nation is blessed to undergo. He oversees the military operation and propagandation of the faith through the Final Call newspaper. He manages the national training of the men, the fruit of Islam, as well as many other facets this post is responsible for. He also serves as a member of the executive, a man of principle, yet married to the love of his life, Aaron Farrakhan, for over 39 years, and they have 5 beautiful children, 13 grandchildren. I might also add that sons excel in athleticism down at the University of Virginia. I know a little bit about that info. Family, what an honor, and to the Executive Council to introduce you to the world through the WVON platform. To all of our listening audience, we know that our brother is not a lone ranger. We damn sure know that. It is an honor to meet his team and to meet the council that works with brother every day to help shape policies and to help shape all of the agendas that move our people forward and empower. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back from the none other than our spiritual leader, our father, our big brother, and of Allah, Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here are your news. That's fun. Lightfoot bans unaccompanied minors from Millennium Park. CPD Officer Collins announced his bid for mayor, and Pritzker signed bills to crack down on coordinated detail theft. We will have details on these stories and more coming up. I'm Candace McCollum on the Voice of the Nation and the Talk of Chicago. WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
This report is brought to you by Audible. This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts, find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com. This report is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more. May is Health Awareness Month.
To supercharge your well-being, practice kindness. Study after study attests to the power of caring for others. Acts of kindness to others gives us a bigger well-being boost than acts of self-care.
Today's Healthy Reminder is brought to you by Walgreens. Here's what you listeners are saying about Perry Small and the Midday Show.
Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're on WVON. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You talked about a lot of great things today. I really enjoyed your conversation today. That's all I wanted to say. You're a great woman. I love listening to you in the morning.
Oh, thank you, Mike. That was so nice of you.
And I hate when I miss you.
All right. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. You guys are really so nice to me.
Very Small. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
GMC continues its commitment to professional-grade engineering in the GMC truck series, like offering the world's first available 6-function multi-pro tailgate on Sierra. This tailgate takes innovation to the next level with 6 distinct functions that let you load, unload, and access the cargo box quicker and easier. Try the GMC Canyon with powerful and innovative features engineered and built for all your adventures to come. Or get behind the wheel of the GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Sierra Heavy Duty pickup takes technology and safety to the next level, delivering a premium driving experience. The list goes on, but it's more than just innovative engineering. It's knowing GMC is committed to professional-grade excellence on every level. We are professional-grade GMC. Well-qualified buyers step up to GMC with 0% APR financing on Sierra models. See your local GMC dealer today. Length of contract limited. Customers will not qualify. Other offers. Take new retail delivery by 5/31/22.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you full of comfort. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. Even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you sleep. And to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed. Clean out $19.99. Plus free premium home delivery from Database. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. Since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Emu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty. Taxes nationwide. We create solutions for your tax problems. Expedient Tax Service.
Expedient Tax Service, 1533 Northwestern Avenue. Leading taxes nationwide. We create solutions for any tax. What we offer, get a free estimate today. We offer cash advances up to $6,000. Our new tax app allows you to have your taxes done in the comfort of your own home. Download now and receive 20% off. Maximum refund guaranteed. Expedient Tax is all you need. Get the Expedient experience. Open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call 773-413-8291. Expedient Tax Service. This commercial endorsed by Phil Davis.
Coming in at 5'3", it's number one mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle, unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you can pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom! Shakalaka! That's why they call her the Master of Moolah, the Sultan of Savings, the Queen of Cash. And now, also with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a 3-Flex 4K streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no term contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires April's billing and auto pay. New fast internet 300 megabits per second, customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
This report is brought to you by News Nation. Wake up with America's best new morning show. Join Adrian Ankert for Morning in America. Weekdays at 7, 6 Central on News Nation. Go to newsnationnow.com/join us to find your television provider.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday morning. Right now, you're on the Dan Ryan 97 to downtown. 25 minutes in the local lanes. The inbound lane 51st and burning the change. Stop and go traffic. I-57, I-82 to Ryan. You're looking at an 18-minute trip. Right now along the Bishop Ford, 89-4 to the Ryan, clocking in at 16. In Sabo Lake Shore Drive, Hollywood to Monroe, 11 minutes. Right now on to Sabo Lake Shore Drive, northbound between Stevenson and Jackson. We do have heavy traffic. And even the Lake up to Monroe to 21. Minute trip. High of 76 degrees and partly sunny, breezy conditions. Tonight, a low of 49. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1619 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Staples Stores. Staples is your shipping solution for small business with packing and shipping supplies and services. Get 15% off UPS Ground and 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Offer ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/services/shipping for details. If you need to ship at Staples. From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the morning show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. Now, in keeping with protocol, I want to introduce this other member of the Executive Council, and brother will bring on Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother Ishmael Muhammad. Brother Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad has the honor and privilege of serving as the Student National Assistant Minister, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Served in that capacity as a student minister for 31 years. He's humbled to be one of the sons of Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Sister Tanetta. Brother Ishmael Muhammad, and then you will bring on our big brother, on many occasions. Ishmael?
Yes, sir, my beautiful brother Eddie. Thank you so much for having us on your show this morning. We want to thank you for always being a wonderful brother, friend, and supporter of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and we appreciate, Brother Eddie, your long commitment to the liberation struggle for our people, and we will always be grateful for the key role you played as a key member of the local organizing committee for the historic Million Man March. I am always deeply honored to have the pleasure of introducing the minister, but this is your show, Eddie, and I think that it is only proper and fitting for you to introduce to our listening audience our beautiful Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I would just say this, Brother Eddie, what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has done in establishing an executive council, as it was said earlier, follows the pattern and directives of governance given by God. And historically speaking, Brother Eddie and dear listeners, we know that where black leadership and organization are concerned, every black leader and organization that was systematically destroyed by the satanic forces of the United States government were unable to enjoy continuity after the leader was off the scene, so that those organizations could realize the attainable goal of the movement that the leaders started. So what the minister has done in establishing a Shura Executive Council ensured that the liberation struggle and the movement for justice, freedom, and equality, and the total liberation of our people is not interrupted through counsel. So, Brother Eddie, thank you, but I would defer that honor to you because you have been so gracious and kind, and the WVON family, to bring us on this morning. So I'm going to defer that responsibility to you, my big brother and friend. Thank you.
Well, it is indeed a responsibility and an honor. And what I want to say at this point, because I want to get out of the way, I want to thank my big brother, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, for all the times in Brother Lou Palmer's, as Hakeem would call, declining years. Brother Hakeem Mahboudi would say that. When Brother Farrakhan would come and sit with Brother Lou Palmer, just sit quietly, and oh boy, to hear that conversation. He sat with him quietly at the Rehabilitative Institute. He sat with him privately at his home. And so I just want to get out the way and say, this spiritual leader, this international giant, this man of God, this soldier of Allah, Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's the mic, bro. Brother Minister? I can't really hear him, brother.
Come on.
Okay, right here, brother. Right here, Brother Farrakhan.
This is on here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you, my big brother?
I'm your little brother servant. I'm honored to be a part of your show, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Nation of Islam and the Executive Council for allowing us this privilege to be presented to our people and all those who might hear as a representative of the teachings and the program and the principles of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We refer to Elijah Muhammad as the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. My God, what must he know? And who is he that he would be the eternal leader? When we truly understand, Brother Eddie, what is written in the Bible, Qur'an, of this man that is called Jesus, and this man that is called Muhammad, and the title of Mahdi and Messiah, these titles are so big because the work that God assigns to the Mahdi or the Christ figure is so great that it represents eternal governance. In the book of Isaiah, the 9th chapter, the 6th verse, it says, "For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and he shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father, and of the increase of his government of peace there shall be no end." We are at the end of Satan's world. We are at the end of a world of hatred and corruption and debauchery and filth and rebellion to the way and light and law of God. We always think of law as something that confines us, and it does. But Jesus represented law at the highest manifestation when he said, "Love God first." And that is the first cardinal principle of the Executive Council and the members of the Nation of Islam. We love Allah, God, first, with all, listen to this, all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. We pledge allegiance to nothing or no one but God. We respect the flag of the nation in which we live. We honor that flag, and we honor the independent people who are the former slave masters of our fathers. But we do not wish to govern as they govern. We do not wish to govern and guide our people as white America would make us and has made us into themselves. Jesus did not want his disciples to reflect the governance of Rome or the hypocrisy of the rabbinical class of the Jewish people of his day. Neither do we. We don't want to look like the enemy in ruling our people. We don't want to be like the enemy in the way he rules, nor do we want to act as though we own in the house of God. If it is God's house, it should be governed in according to God's rule and law. So the second commandment, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. On these two hang all the law and the prophets. So this is who the Nation of Islam is. We are not like the average church. We believe that Christ is real. And Christ is, in his function, the crusher of wickedness. He comes at the end of the world of Satan. He comes at the end of the present world to introduce a new world and to set down the corrupt governments and people of this world. This is why war and destruction is on the horizon, because this got to end. It's got to be finished. The lying, the deceiving, the hypocrisy has got to end. And in the Nation of Islam, everyone that you heard this morning on this executive council that I have personally chosen. Oh, you did? Yes. I was personally chosen by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because in me he heard himself. He heard his message coming through me clearly, not adding to or taking away from, like this is some personal fiefdom of Louis Farrakhan. I am an extension of Elijah Muhammad, who we believe is the Jesus that every one of us have fallen in love with and have wanted to live under Jesus and follow Jesus and be made into Jesus, so that each one of us who follow Jesus become saviors under his saving grace and power. So everyone that you heard this morning, thank you, Eddie Reed. We have committed our lives to the Messiah, to the Mahdi, to God in person. We live his life. That is what a disciple is. We can't say we're disciples of Jesus Christ and we have not disciplined ourselves to what he taught and the example of his life. This is why I don't mean to run on, Eddie, but I just want to finish this point, and then you may ask me a question as you see fit. This point is this. Jesus taught how to govern at the Last Supper. Man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded from the mouth of God. Jesus spoke what God commanded him to speak. Jesus did what God commanded him to do. He's the perfect example of leadership, because he does not lead on his own. He leads by God's grace and permission. So it was and so it is with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So people say, well, you got to have one man. You can't have a group of people. Yeah, the group of people is one. Allah uses the term we in the Holy Qur'an more than he uses the personal pronoun I. And until we learn our responsibility about we in the submission to the will of God. And so what you met this morning were men and women. You didn't meet their staffs. They came to me, some of them as teenagers. I'm an old man now, by the grace of God. And these are getting old that you heard today. They're in their 40s and 50s and 60s. So, they're up in age, but they are rooted in the law and teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why I chose them to be on his council, so that he is on the council. I represent him, and whenever I stand in front of that council, they can look at me and look past me and see and feel the spirit of the man I represent, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, a man taught by God and wisdom revealed to him from God that was kept from the wise and the prudent men of this world and revealed unto babes. And we are the babes that have been blessed to receive wisdom, guidance, and love, perfect love of God. And this is what we represent, Brother Eddie. So I ask all of these that will accept to help me. I want to know what you think about Elijah Muhammad. I want to know how deep are you committed to the word and the work that that man has taught us. Because I have submitted myself totally to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I can say to them like Jesus said to Philip. When Philip said, Master, when will we see the Father? And Jesus said to Philip, have not I been among you this long, and you have not seen him? When you see me, you see the Father. For I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. Me and my Father are one. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to me long before he left us, I want your mind. I want you to line your mind up with my mind, that it will be one mind. And my mind is lined up with his mind today. And when you see me, when you hear me, you hear him. You see him. Nothing is Lewis. Everything is Elijah. Everything is Jesus. Right? Everything is Matthew. Because that's who I represent.
Brother, let me...
So, beloved, thank you.
No, thank you.
For allowing me this privilege.
Thank you, my dear brother. And let me just say this to you. First of all, happy anniversary of your 89th birth on May 11th. And we can see why Allah has kept you here. I would suggest to you, you're not an old man, you're a seasoned man.
I like that word. I like that word, Brother Eddie.
There's a difference, brother. There's a difference between being seasoned and being old. Brother, what say you to what's going on in the village now? And we have some of our brothers out there. I know this brother, and I'll just say this, people gonna get mad, but I see Brother Tyrone Muhammad and the HCCSC. I see others out there. And what say you about anyone who's out there that you see doing the work? But more importantly, what do you say to our young brothers and to the men? It was an honor to be with you years ago when you went went around the country on the men's tour. What say you to the village, my dear brother? In the village, there are those who have studied of some of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Some of them learned of him in prison, and they disciplined themselves according to their understanding of his teachings. And some of us are difficult to mold and shape in terms of following structure, disciplining our lives to structured living. Some may call it slavery, but that's a misunderstanding of Islam. A man is not a Muslim. A woman is not a Muslim until we submit our will to do the will of God. So when you are one with God, that's how he comes into your life. That's how you become one with him. But you got to submit first. Everybody wants a page set out for them. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants the love that belongs to God. Everybody wants to share the praise that belongs to God. But when you know God and he shares with you his greatness, then you must never show yourself to be an arrogant man or what we call in the Qur'an the jackass carrying a book. The jackass is a jackass, but you can load him down with books. But when he gets to the destination, he's still a jackass because he has not learned how to read and refuses to discipline himself to the master teacher. And when we fall out, we still got knowledge and we're responsible. The brothers out there that have knowledge, you have responsibility. Teach what you know, but you should live according to what you teach. Otherwise, you can be classified as a hypocrite. 773.
I live what I teach. I die and I live on what I teach. That's why people know, Farrakhan, I will never sell you out. I don't care what the world does to me. If it kills me tomorrow, I will die an honorable death that I never deceive my brothers and sisters or lie to them about anything when it comes to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm committed to this. And I say to those in the village, do your job. Teach the people what you know, but don't teach them to use them. Don't teach them to abuse them. Don't teach them to fatten your wallet and then do nothing in service to the whole. Do you know, Eddie, all the buildings that we had that were lost when the Imam Wariduddin Muhammad took over the nation, everything that Elijah Muhammad built went in that direction. I started with nothing. I didn't even have his files or letters that he wrote to the many people that he taught all over the world to be guided from. Nobody that was his secretary that took notes from him came and said, Brother Farrakhan, here, let me share this with you. No. I had a few faithful ones from Elijah Muhammad, but most of the students are dead or in the street, but they're not helping me.
773-591-1690. Now, let me give you some instructions, family. The executive producer staff is going to screen your calls. Those of you who want to make a comment or you want to ask questions, be succinct and be specific. We don't get access to our big brother very often. I don't know when. It's been quite some time, Brother Minister, all the way back to our brother Cliff Kelly, since you've been on this radio station, and it's an honor to chop it up with you, as the young people say. And
it's true.
Yes, sir.
My teacher don't want me to be arguing with our people.
That's right, brother.
I have lived in front of you all these years and have taught for all these years. And I don't come on the radio to argue with you.
That's right.
I will not disrespect you or myself by arguing with you. So I don't come on the radio anymore. I have taught you well by the grace of God. Millions of words now are out there for us to feed on. So I want to see now a new generation rise in that word, and they're coming up fast. Every one of these that you heard, including Brother Student Minister Ishmael, he's got a cadre of young ministers, male and female, studying now and growing in the study. And so soon you will see them, soon you will hear them, and you will hear Elijah coming through them all, or they won't speak at all. I did not live my life and offer my life for wicked, corrupt people to come to me and say they want to help me, but they really want to help themselves and use my teacher's name to deceive the people. I will not have that, and we will not have that. So I'll take your question.
Go ahead, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Minister. My name is Brother Arthur 6X. I met with you once or twice. You came to the Pioneer Building. Me and my brother had a studio in the Pioneer Building in the hardware store, and you named my son because he was born on the 5th of October. A question to you, do you think that we need a universal community code of conduct to help govern our community internally that all parties involved can agree on?
Yes, we do need a universal code of conduct. One day, dear brother, I was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said, brother, what's the best religion? I said, why would he ask me a question like that? He's teaching me Islam. I didn't know what to answer, so I just said, Islam. He didn't say yay, he didn't say nay, but here's what he said. The best religion is that you do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. If you look deep into that principle, which is called the golden rule in Christianity, and it exists in Islam, that you love for your brother what you love for yourself. You're not a Muslim until that is deep in your heart. If we accept to treat each other like we want to be treated, that universal code of conduct will guide our behavior, and our communities will change overnight into a productive community where you won't see the violence that you see. You won't see the hatred that you see. You won't see the debauchery that you see. But we must accept the will of God.
Brother Minister, we have Sister Anita, who has been screened by the producer. Sister Anita, what say you?
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. Minister Farrakhan, I did not know you were going to be on this radio. I thought this was a recording. I am so excited behind all the things that's happened, in the last few days. But my family, I married into a family that was actually in the Nation of Islam. They were the ones with the Omar on the Nile. So I'm with the Omar family. Yeah, I'm really excited about all of this. But what I want to ask you is, I keep hearing a conversation about you and the Jewish community. And I called WOL Radio in Washington, D.C. last week, and I asked one of your head chief of your paper, I think that's what he was, and I was like, well, why do the Jewish community say that Minister Farrakhan is anti-Semitic when Abraham said you're supposed to submit to God, have obedience, and not sacrifice your children? And that's all you and Elijah Muhammad has ever taught was take care of your own. You're not to be mistreated. You are a slave only to God. So I'm trying to figure out I'm furious with the Jewish community for putting you silent, muting you, when you believe in the same God that they believe in. And I think you practice it very well. So what do you think about that?
Thank you, sister.
Well, thank you. I want to say this. No, we don't believe in the same God. That was the problem Jews 2,000 years ago and Jesus. They came to Jesus saying that God was their father. And Jesus said, well, if God was your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. But now you seek to kill me, a man that has told you the truth. I know you. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you shall do. He was a liar from the beginning and a murderer. We don't have the same God, nor do we have the same Father. If they showed up the love that they were taught by the prophet, we wouldn't have a problem. But the wiser ones of them used a knowledge that they came up with and tried to make the Talmud like the Torah. And in that, they deviated, and in that deviation, they have become the Lord and master of their own way of life and civilization. I have never hated Jews. Never. And I don't hate them today, but if you come to me wrong,
that's right.
Don't expect me to be the Negro that scratches when he doesn't itch. I will deal with you according to the way you deal with me.
Yes, sir,
that
brother.
Is my teaching from my father, Elijah Muhammad. I have Jews that have come and sat at my table, and I have sat it there. And the head of the board of rabbis, former head of the board of rabbis, said these words to me, Rabbi Shalman. He said, Farrakhan, it's not for you to criticize us. That's for me to do, not you. I said, my God, you mean to tell me if you've done wrong to me and my people, but I don't have a right to show you where you are wrong, then you call me an anti-Semite? No, I'm going to tell you who you are. You are anti-God, anti-truth, anti-justice, anti-equity, and you hate me because I expose you for the devil that you are.
Brother, we're going to go now to Brother Michael Muhammad. Brother Michael Muhammad, what say you?
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, Brother Minister. Good morning, brother. Brother Minister, I thank you so much for being a leader and a guide for me in my life. And I've been a member of the Nation of Islam, but I'm not in the ranks right now. My question to you will be, what guidance and instructions would you share with me and others that are, have the truth that you teach from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to make our way back inside the fold and to be helpful with the work of the Nation of Islam as we move forward.
Dear brother, you must look at what you've been taught. If what you've been taught is the truth, you are responsible for that truth that you know, that truth that you accepted, and you can be judged by that truth that you have accepted, but do not now wish to live. You cannot be a good example to your people if you say the right thing and yet do the wrong thing. You have power, dear brother, to bring your life into accord with what you know of the teachings. What you know is what you're responsible for. What you believe is what you're responsible for. And if you talk to the people out there who don't know anything of it, then talk to them as their brother. Teach them what you know, and then ask them to pardon you if you are not living as you teach. But you hope to get your life back together. And remember, wherever you are, you're in the rank. You can never come out of the nation and say, you're not in the mob, but you have never left the nation. You're in the nation, and you must behave as a creature of the Creator. We are the Creator's nation. So we've got to act in a certain way. We've got to live a certain way. And that's a sacrifice that you and I have to make in submission to the will of God. You can do it. All you have to do is make up your mind that I'm not going to live like I used to live or live like I am living if I'm living contrary to the truth that I know. I'm going to make a change. And all of us have that right to make a change. And that change will benefit your family, your friends, and the entire community by the grace of God.
Brother Minister, you have spent a lot of time through the years, and I have two questions here. You spent a lot of time through the years speaking to our young people all over the country and all over the world. And I remember you bringing in the room some of the young people that were either frightened of or ran away from. And so, two-part question is your message to the young that's out there today and to the family, to the black family that seems to be under attack on so many levels. That you, Minister.
Thank you, Brother Eddie. Please excuse the passion of my voice. I haven't been on the radio in a long time, and I'm just so passionate over what I believe. I don't mean to offend anyone, but listen here, brother. Our youth are struggling against forces that are trying to shape them into instruments of death against themselves and the rise of their people. They are not the responsible party. They are the victims of smart, crooked deceivers who bring drugs into our community and cause our young people to sell them. Bring guns into our community and promote gang conflict and rejoice when we kill one another as we seem to be loving to do. I say this to our young. You will be punished today by God. who came to save us and make us love each other and be real, genuine brothers and sisters to one another. But if we're going to harm each other, kill each other, rape each other, rob each other, there's a chastisement that God is going to bring on you. And you know, when you get it, you'll understand why you can't sleep at night. And when night comes, you wish for day, and when day comes, you wish for night. You'll be in constant misery. You want death, but death will run away from you because God is punishing you for what you know you did wrong, and then you refuse to change when the offer of change is given to you. So to my beloved young brother, the enemy has fashioned you into an instrument of death. God wants to fashion you into an instrument of life, that you can protect yourself against death and protect your people and the community from the death that comes from our ignorance and lack of love for self.
And to our family, brother?
Now, the family, oh, my family, you're all arguing with each other. Women arguing with the men, men arguing with the women. We're all at odds with each other. We're trying to show ourselves as not needing one another. Women today are so hurt over their relationship with men that has gone sour. And some women today said, to heck with it, I don't need a man in my life. I don't need him for sexual purposes. I instruments to help me. I don't need you. But brothers and sisters, we are created by God to need one another. We are created by God to complement each other's nature. The woman is not the same as the man. The man is not the same as the woman. But when the woman is the woman of God and the man is the man of God, that man and that woman solve their problems, create peace among themselves. I've been married to my wife's mother, Khadijah, for 68 long years. And I knew her when she was 8 and I was 11. And this is the honest to God truth. I love this girl so much that when I became so popular as a young musician in Boston, all the girls loved their Jean, what they called me, and they loved me. But I was in love with Betsy.
Go ahead, brother.
And so they liked me, and I liked them too. But when they see me with Betsy. They see me walking with Betsy. They see us dressing alike, walking in a way. When I say dress alike, I didn't put on no dress.
We know that, brother. We know that.
But dressing alike, if I had on blue, my wife would have blue slacks and a white blouse, and I would have a white shirt or whatnot. And we had the same caps that I bought in Canada when I was playing up in Rockhead Paradise in Montreal. And we were just a loving couple to be seen. Everybody wants to see love. And when two people are deeply in love and they walk down the street, right, you can be behind the curtain. You pull that curtain aside. Love is what we want to see. Love is what we got to be. I had a talk with Stevie the other day. He wished me happy birthday. And I said, Stevie, you're not of this world. Every time I hear you, you're talking about love. Every time you write a song, you're writing about love. And love is God himself. When you love, God is with you, not in a strange and wicked way, but love is the way that God loves. He gave you a nature. Be yourself. He gave you a sex. Learn to love who you are and then be you. Because you know what? Everything that God created, he created everything in pairs. I didn't know this until I read it in the Holy Qur'an. Grass is created in pairs. Every grass, not the same as a female grass and a male. So grass keeps coming up. Every winter grass dies, but every spring, here it comes again. Why? Because grass love each other. They know their function, and they taking care of function in business. You know, you look at the bees. I love bees. I don't want to be stung by them, but I love bees. And bees love each other. So when we see bees pollinate flowers. Bees pollinate plants and give us food. So nature has a purpose. And when we violate nature, we violate ourselves and we violate God. I want to be a good man. And I told my brother that sitting here with me one day, I was riding in an old BMW. And he said, Minister, you've got such nice cars. Why do you like to drive in this car? I said, brother, I don't want to be grand. I want to be good. I don't want you loving me because of a grand car that I drive or grand shoe that I wear. I refuse now to wear jewelry. I don't want you looking at what's on my finger. I don't want you looking at, I want you to see your course. And if you see me looking good, praise be to God. But I want you to look at me and how I live. Look at how God has blessed me in the midst of the storm, to weather the storms of life and the storms created by the enemy of our life. I am hated, but yet I am loved.
Brother Minister,
yes.
The clock says we've got to go, and I hear you today saying love and humility. And I remember you coming to see Brother Lou Palmer in that two-seater Mercedes-Benz. You just and come to see our brother and sit with him. And I've joked with you through the years about being the sixth man on the bench while the brothers in the nation are the start. We love you. We honor you. We respect you. We appreciate you. And please, can we get you back to the mic again soon?
I'm going to pray on it. But I think, in truth, God has helped me to prepare such wonderful young people that are well versed in the teachings, and they're building their character to match the word. And what would please me so much is if you invite them. That's why when Brother Leonard said, well, Eddie's inviting us to be on his show, when you speak, I said, I'll speak after the council speaks. They are now the representative of God and the messenger and myself. And I'm so happy that I've been able, by God's grace, to form Jesus, to form the Christ in them. And that's why they, like I can say, greater is he that is in me that is he that is in the world. So the world can't bother me. The world can say anything ugly they want to say. I just keep on keeping on. And thank you, Eddie, for continuing to lift up Lou and Georgia. Thank you for lifting up the people that have made it possible for us to be here. Thank you for remembering the ancestors, young people and family members. Remember the ancestors. And when you think about what they went through for us to be here today, if you love them enough, you'll make them proud of your every word, of your every deed. I love you all. And Eddie Reed, I love you most of all because you loved us and shared your love. And, of course, VON. Thank you, VON, for allowing us the privilege of being with you this morning.
I love you, brother.
I love you, too.
I love you, and Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, family. We've run out of time. That was awesome, as it usually is, to hear from our brother who has been in the vineyard. This is not a man you have to look for. This man has been very, very strong-based and very, very obvious now. We will get those young people to the mic. I talked to Brother Leonard on Saturday about men of the movement. We hear mothers of the movement, but the men of the movement. Black men, this is our season and our time. All right, we're out of here, family.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here are your news headlines. Light-footed bands unaccompanied minors from Millennium Park. CPD Officer Collins announced his bid for mayor, and Pritzker signs bill to crack down on coordinated retail theft. We will have details on these stories and more coming up. I'm Candace McCollum. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, WVON, 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
This is continuing coverage of the Buffalo mass shooting on